The phone buzzed on the marble countertop. One message. No sender name. I unlocked it, and my stomach sank before my mind even processed the content. A photo. A grotesque joke. His body. Her favorite body. Labeled, "Your wife's favorite food." I stared at the screen, fingers cold. Heart a quiet drum in my chest. The world narrowed to that obscene image, framed by his smug, invisible laughter. I didn't respond. I didn't scream. I didn't do anything at all. I slid the phone back into its cradle, every muscle tensed. The kitchen, once familiar, felt like an alien vessel. The smell of coffee mocked me. The sun through the window had turned sharp, cutting angles into the walls. And then it struck me. My things, my life, everything I'd built was gone. I didn't panic. Not yet. Panic was amateurish. I was nothing if not meticulous. I looked around. The apartment felt smaller, emptier. And then I saw it, a photo, large, ugly in its simplicity, of the same object from the message his Johnson. The wall bore a sign, "I hope it tasted good." No note. No explanation. Just audacity and mockery. I clenched my fists. Slowly. Deliberately. They thought this was a game. I smiled. A thin, cruel line. They were about to learn how quiet vengeance could scream. I replayed the day in fragments, searching for the first thread of betrayal. She came home smiling, carrying groceries, as if nothing had changed. I watched her from the shadows of the doorway, silent still. Her eyes caught mine, and I felt the cold, precise knife of recognition cut into my chest. She knew. She had to. But she hadn't said a word. The things I had owned, my watch collection, the laptop, the suitcase of personal papers, vanished. Gone. My apartment was sterile. Empty. My presence erased like a poorly edited photograph. And he had invaded my life with the crassness of a predator. The betrayal was not just theirs. It was layered, sophisticated in its cruelty. Infidelity. Manipulation. A psychological ownership of my private world. I remembered subtle hints, conversations I had brushed off, the micro-expressions that seemed insignificant at the time. But now everything was a signal. A breadcrumb trail. I had loved her with precision. I had trusted her with care. And she had gifted my trust to another man like it was some cheap trinket. Denial would have been natural, but I did not allow myself the luxury. I did not scream. I did not cry. I catalogued the betrayal. Every detail mattered. The days became a measured routine. I watched. I traced. I collected evidence with the patience of a surgeon. Phone records. Deleted messages resurrected with software that could read the ghosts of texts. Small, almost imperceptible signs of their rendezvous. I learned to observe without being observed. I became the shadow in my own life, a ghost among memories. I watched her in the grocery store, noting her glances, her hesitation. I noted when her hands lingered on items he liked, the subtle way her posture shifted when she spoke about him. I did not confront. Not yet. I hired experts under the guise of mundane projects. DNA tests. Forensic analysis of objects she touched. The results built a tapestry I had long suspected, each thread confirming my silent knowledge. My external calm belied the storm inside. Every meal I ate, every glass of wine I sipped, every phone call I answered controlled. Calm. Calculated. The suspense grew, not like a ticking bomb, but a glacier inching toward destruction. I could feel it, slowly, inevitably, waiting to crush them both. The report came in sealed. I opened it with gloved hands, my eyes scanning every detail with surgical precision. The DNA was definitive, undeniable. The proof of their affair, the indisputable evidence of her betrayal. I did not laugh. I did not cry. I did not scream. I merely read. Then I prepared. When she arrived home that evening, I was there, waiting. The report lay on the counter, its edges sharp, clinical. She glanced at it. Recognition hit her eyes, then fear. "Do you know?" Her voice trembled. I nodded once. Cold. Silent. She stumbled back, searching for excuses. Blame. Anything to mask the shame. But the proof was absolute, and my calmness amplified her terror. He had tried to humiliate me. She had tried to hide behind him. And now, the truth glowed like ice between us. I felt no triumph, only precision, only inevitability. I decided on a method that matched the cruelty of their audacity. I left the apartment. Her and his world remained, unchallenged in the moment. I vanished again, but this time by design. I had arranged a tableau, an environment where the humiliation would strike with exacting clarity. When she returned, expecting the hollow apartment, she found my things gone. But she did not expect the centerpiece, a photograph of his Johnson, mounted where my presence had been, the sign still hanging. I hope it tasted good. And then she saw what I had left for her. Letters, images, documents exposing her greed, her manipulation, and my secret triumphs, our Swiss villa, my wealth, my independence. Her knees buckled. Her mouth opened, a silent scream forming. I did not speak. Not a word. A call came through from her daughter-in-law. She shouted, desperate, demanding my presence at Thanksgiving, demanding normalcy. I answered with one word. Enjoy. Her gaze fell upon the images of my life untouched, luxurious, thriving without her or him. The phone rang. 71 times. I ignored it all. And in that silence, I felt the shift. The balance had changed. She was powerless, stripped of her ability to manipulate. He had become the fool, the grotesque figure on the wall of her shame. The revenge was cold, precise, psychological, perfect. I walked away that night, leaving the apartment, the betrayal, the ruined illusions behind. No confrontation. No tears. No words. Only the quiet knowledge that the game was mine and I had played it to its inevitable conclusion. I did not mourn. I did not rejoice. I merely observed from a distance, detached, victorious in the only way that mattered. The truth was mine. They had tried to consume me, to degrade me. Instead, they became the spectacle, the victims of their own hubris. I lit a cigarette, watched the smoke curl into the dark, and allowed myself the final clarity. They had gambled with a careful mind, and they had lost. And I had no intention of ever being part of their world again. I was gone, and they would remember that.